Hello everyone and welcome back to WePC. My name's Will and today we're going to be unboxing the Nvidia MSI Gaming X Trio 3090 that we finally got our hands on. So we've been waiting, 4 weeks to get our hands on this. Anyone that knows, this is incredibly hard to get hold of at the moment, thanks to Nvidia's really awful launch. Right, so get started. Obviously MSI warranty, as always, just in a little envelope. I don't think I've ever actually opened it, don't think I've ever needed it either. Next up, obviously foam, anti-static bag, and obviously the GPU sag bracket, which will pop out first. So anyone that's unfamiliar with one of these, basically what it is, as it kind of says the name, GPU anti-sag bracket basically goes underneath the graphics card when it's in your PC case. And what it helps do is basically just help support the weight of the graphics card. Why that's important? Graphics cards these days are getting bigger and bigger and heavier. And obviously the stress of the graphics card's weight hanging across can provide stress, can cause stress, sorry, to the motherboard and also to the PCIe lane. So especially in transport as well, that's one good thing you need to actually understand. Other than this, we have a little bit of extra rubber, which I imagine is just basically to add additional supports here. And that's your GPU sag bracket. Next up is this behemoth. Ooh. Yep, it's as heavy as normal. Jesus. Let's move that out of the way. So here it is, the 3090, the best performing graphics card on the market currently, it seems. Obviously takes the place of the it takes the place of the 2080 Ti, but really takes the place of the Titan as well, since it's 24 gig of GDDR6 RAM. On first glance, obviously we opened the 3080 the other week. I know this from 20 series MSI Gaming X Trios. They follow the same design, and aesthetically they typically look very similar. We are going to compare it with the 3080 in a second, but first up, I'm just going to check for any damage. No, not really. Just checking to see if there's any notable differences. Obviously the biggest one being the NVLink, which is basically so it supports dual GPUs, obviously NVLink being SLI. Yeah, anyone that doesn't know, this doesn't come with the 3070s or 3080s, just the 3090. Other than that, your standard 3 display ports and 1 HDMI. And then from an RGB perspective, anyone that's not familiar with the 30 series yet, so the RGB has changed versus the 20 series, especially the MSI Gaming X Trios. I actually prefer the 20 series. Is basically the RGB is the top part here, the MSI logo. Then on the, I call this the front, people call it the side, whatever, the front side is RGB here, these 3 lines, and then RGB here, these 3 lines. So it's quite, it's quite subtle. And then the last bit of RGB is this large line across the top here. And that's it really, RGB wise. Hopefully going to get a Gigabyte Aorus soon, the 3080 version, because I really do like the RGB on them, but that'll be in another video. Let's get the 3080 and compare. Okay, and here they are. We have the 3080 and the 3090. I kind of feel incredibly lucky right now to have both of these, considering most people are struggling to get even one. But we did try very hard to get them. We did have to purchase them retail. We don't get these sent to us or anything like that, unfortunately. So yeah, so the 3080 is here on my right and the 3090 is here on my left. Obviously, if you can see, there's not much difference from the front. Yeah, size-wise, in terms of the size, we did check beforehand, and I think they're pretty much the same. To be honest, the 3080 did seem slightly thicker. However, I'm not sure if that was just my eyes. In terms of RGB and aesthetics, the 3080 versus the 3090, the RGB is the exact same. The biggest difference, or if not the only aesthetic difference really, is obviously the additional feature of the NVLink on the 3090. Obviously, because the 3080 and the 3070s don't have that, that's pretty much the only difference that you can see there. So obviously that's there. Obviously this is just a rubber cap to keep it protected. And that's your NVLink to do SLI. I really don't think there's much else going on in terms of differences aesthetically for the 3090 versus the 3080. I'd really like to get some scales out and actually see the weight difference, but I don't think it will be much, if anything at all, to be honest. Obviously from a features perspective in terms of performance, what it packs, obviously the 3090 is 24 gig of GDDR6X, obviously the 3080 is just 10 gig of GDDR6X. The other big difference in performance is basically the memory bus. So the 3090 has basically 384 bits and the 3080 has, let's check, 320 bits. Sorry, I can't remember every stat. And that's really it. Next, we're gonna basically go and do the benchmarks of this, so please come back and check out that video. Obviously, from a gaming perspective, 3080 is kind of hailed to be the best of the best right now, at least until Big Navi is introduced. Obviously, if you're doing any rendering, any video editing, Photoshopping and all that stuff, then people have, at least sources that we've heard, are saying the 3090 is the dogs, you know, whereas the 3080 is definitely for gaming. We're going to test and benchmark the 3090 for both gaming and non-gaming computer stuff. Yeah, you can tell I don't do anything but game. And we'll report back very soon, so definitely check out that video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, hit the notification below, and also check out our next video on the left. See you next time.